der Rebischter hat beschaffen die Welt in 6 Tagen. Und bei jedem Schwie ist beim Gewinn Shabbos Lashem, Lekecho, demot hat geruht, ist Bishas Ayid, und es kommt der Shabboslicher Tag, und hielt ihm ab und heiligt ihm. Wie der Rebischter will, vereinzigt sich mit dem Ebersten, und sie beide seien die Gewaltiger auf der Welt.
Und macht das Land das Leisten, ja? Mach ein Stück noch.
Growing up in Crown Heights in the late 50s, early 60s was different than it is today. My father had a pharmacy in Crown Heights for almost 42 years. He would have discussions with the Rebbe, mainly about the store. At the time, my father kept the store open on Shabbos. My father's answer was, people depend on me to make their medicines. I'm saving life here. The Rebbe said, no, you can close on Shabbat. The fact is that pharmacies were open back then 7 days a week. My father said, okay, but Parnassa, I mean, I have to make... Shabbos is when Saturday was the day we made our money for the week.
Wenn es kommt zu einem Konflikt zwischen das, was der Umgebung verlangt von ihm, und das, was steht in der Teire, wie rausgebracht in Shulchan Aruch, ist Avodai Atem, ist der Knecht von dem Eibischten, und als 40, wie der Eibischter hat ihm angewiesen, ist ist sicher, dass haben einen ruhigen Schabbos. Und von Schabbos wird haben noch eine gebenchte Woche.
Not only are you guaranteed your parnassa, but the way you have to look at the parnassa. You can make less parnassa and spend it on good things than make more parnassa and, God forbid, have to spend it on bad things, like for health and so on and so forth. And you of all people should know this. And that convinced my father to close his store on Shabbos.
I started a store, clothing store in downtown Los Angeles, 3,000 square feet store. I really seriously was saying myself, like, I want to close the store on Shabbos. I don't want to work on Shabbos. But it was difficult to think like this because most of the business you're doing on Shabbos. There was some Shabbos I used to sell $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on Shabbos. During the week, barely I can sell $100, $150. Now the contract, the lease I have, I was obligated 20 years lease. The owner, he warning me in the beginning, if you ever was thinking to leave this lease, I'm going to run after you to the rest of your life. I'm not going to let you go out from it. So I wrote to the Rebbe, told them, Rebbe, I decide to close my store on Shabbos. I would like to have a blessing. I should not get hurt.
Wie bald weiß, Birkas Hashem hi Tasche, und sie hinkt auf in den Nebischen, ist doch verstandig, als sie kommt Freitag Vernacht, ist soll nicht halten in einer mitnischen Mische. Ist bei einer sichere Sache, nie das ist sein Verdienst und nie das ist sein Derech, worin sein Parnasse kommt von Birkas Hashem.
I'm getting a letter, and in the envelope I open, I see $18, and then it say, 1. מתחיל מקודם שקיעת החמה וגדול הזכות. 2. להפיץ את התורה מתוך שמחה. 3. לתת צדקה שמה, to give צדקה at the money what he gave me. The next day I say, I'm going to go to the landlord, and I'm going to give him the lease, and the landlord was not there. I came back to my store. There is a guy walking to my store. He wants to buy the store, he's telling me. So I told him, go to the landlord. He's telling me, I was with the landlord. I say, what the landlord told you? He say, you're holding the lease, אתה מחזיק את החוזה. He took a checkbook and he wrote me a nice check. Just can tell you, with this check I bought a house and I started manufacturing. And I remember going to the Rebbe, and on Sunday I told the Rebbe, I got a miracle with the store. The Rebbe was laughing and he went like this on my mouth, like, don't talk about this.
הרב, אנחנו השקענו שלושתנו בביזנס של לסגור בשבת. אנחנו צריכים ברכה והצלחה.
בשביל השבת ויום טוב.
ויום טוב.
ושבת
ויום טוב סגור.
Теперь очень нужно соблюдать субботу. Так как это Богу указал, что Асерес Адибис, когда он дал Торы, он начал с того, что каждый еврей до конца времен должен соблюдать субботу. If you'll be in the Congress and all the people will know that you're the Shem Shabbos, that it will help the Bnei Meir, the Gentile people, to observe their mitzvahs also. Not only for the Jews to become Shem Shabbos.
I started my practice on Nulatz Avenue, and things looked very bleak. It wasn't going anywhere. I remember having a friend. I happened to have mentioned to him that I was having some problems. This young man suggested that the Rebbe would be able to help me, and I made an appointment with the Rebbe. I started to tell him I wasn't doing well here in Brooklyn, and I was able to find a place in Bayside. I was going to be starting an office there. He says, do you work on Shabbos? And I said, yes, I do. And he says, now you're going to a new place. He says, you're moving. Perhaps you ought to think about not working on Shabbos.
Was Orthodox, was fordert sich bei jeder Rieden, als soll wissen sein, als ist der Bnei Shel Melech Malcham Lochim HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Und das, was die Völker müssen ankommen, zu halten, offentlich Kleid, weil man nicht in den Fällen in Parnasse, bei jedem Punkt verkehrt. A Jid ist nicht unterworfen, Chuki HaTeva, nur sein Cheiki, sein Constitution ist auch das, was ist angeschrieben in Tere. Bis in the Psagdim von Shulchan Aruch.
It became known that Dr. Walensky doesn't work on Saturday. And it was unheard of. Dr. Walensky goes to a shul. I was very successful financially, very successful. Even in the way I lived my life, I felt more satisfied, more at ease, very satisfied with being Jewish.
Bescheid der Schabbos wird angeführt, wie sie darf zu sein, oder demut, wie sagt, in Seher werden von dem Schabbos gebencht, die ganze 6 Tage von der Woche, was kommt nach dem.
The most important impetus in the life that I'm describing to you now has been my meeting with the Rebbe.